Hey, it's Geroy signing with the BC Lions and Canadian Football Hall of Famer. And I'm up next on I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Looking for the most beers on tap? Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say hey sent you.
Turn it up. The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I never stop. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Hey, legend.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. We've met many times before, but the person you were talking to, Big Mike, he couldn't make it, so he's got me going one-on-one with you today. Okay, so as for how I would know you, I used to attend Monday nights down at the Hard Rock Casino with Dante Marsh. Would bring me down there every week, and we'd be seeing you down there at the casino with DJ Alibaba. And then, you remember those Monday nights?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then going back to even last year where you were riding around the back of the truck on the way out of the stadium, I ran over to you, and I tossed down a picture. This picture.
Yeah.
Where you signed it for me, and that was us, where I ran into you at the Seahawks game.
Yeah.
Circle of Life, we've been trying to get you on here for a long time now, and it's glad we finally got you on.
For sure, man, for sure.
So born in Pennsylvania, what was childhood like for you growing up?
Yeah, just growing up in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, small town. It was a rough town. It was a rough little place, but we were known for having some of the best athletes in the state of Pennsylvania, and it's a place that it's good to be from. I'm always proud of where I'm from, but and I celebrate that city, but it's a tough area. And the one thing that kept us going was sports, and played a number of different sports growing up. But football seemed to be the sport that gave me the best opportunity.
Okay, and that was my next question: was did you play any other sports growing up, and if so, what was it?
Yeah, so I originally started playing sports, from the time that I can remember as a youngster. I first started playing baseball, and baseball's still a great sport, and I love it. I played basketball for the high school. Played three years of high school basketball. We were, we were district champions, made state finalists, not state finalists, state semifinalists. We got as high, we got ranked as high as third in the state my senior year. Then I ran track, where I ran 100, 200, and high jump, where I finished second in the 100, second in the 100, second in the high jump, and third in the 200. So in the state. So I guess I could say a natural athlete. I just a kid that played whatever sport was in season, and it's something that I've always loved.
Yeah, you definitely turned out to be a hell of an athlete, that's for sure. And you still got it, that's for sure, too. I see all your videos and stuff. You go out there playing golf a lot?
Yeah, still. I got into golf probably around 2003 or 4 when I came here to the Lions. I played a little bit, other spots, but I really got into golf here in Vancouver. It's such a great golf scene here. A lot of golf courses, a lot of places that that I got instruction and learned the game. So golf is definitely a passion of mine. Because I can't play any of the other sports. So golf is something that keeps me competitive, and I compete with myself with golf. I don't really have the desire to go out and play pickup basketball or anything like that anymore. So it's something that I can still compete at, but the competition is with myself.
And while we're on the golf topic, one question I had for you later on would be, what would your dream foursome look like?
Oh man, probably Tiger Woods will be number one, Michael Jordan, and probably either Barack Obama or Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer's from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, which is 30 minutes from Johnstown. So that would be someone that I would really want to have an opportunity to golf with.
Oh, and a hell of a golfer that would be. That's true, actually. With Tiger, would teach you some golf, and I know MJ, he can definitely golf too.
Well, I just try to take MJ's money because I know he's
yeah, definitely. And then you went to Maryland, the University of Maryland. What made you choose Maryland?
Well, it was a number of things. I had opportunities to go a number of different places, but I was a late qualifier with the SAT and grades. But the one school that stuck with me throughout the process of getting eligible was Maryland. The good thing about Maryland was they were the number one school in the country for criminal justice, which I wanted to major in criminal justice. And I wanted to, if football didn't work out, I wanted to be an FBI agent. So with that being said, with the great programs that they had, it was a natural fit for me. And then the football team at the time ran the run and shoot offense. So I'd come from a run and shoot offense in high school. So it was a natural fit for me to go to Maryland, and because it was the exact thing. They had the exact program that I wanted to study. And then it also had the type of offense that I was used to, where I'd be able to get on the field, at an early age and start my career from day one.
And we interview a lot of prospects and NFL draft prospects and stuff, and we always give them even all the way down to like NCAA prospects and stuff. So we always ask the questions like, why would you choose that university? Because basically the one chance in your career that you get to choose where you go, as opposed to being drafted and told where to go.
Yeah. It was a stressful process for me because, like I said, I had a number of early offers because I excelled at an early age. And then all those offers kind of went away. And then once I got eligible, all those offers started to come back. So it was a little bit stressful. There was a number of schools recruiting me to play both football and basketball, and then there was other schools recruiting me as a track athlete. So I had a few different opportunities. I really wanted to play college basketball, but being 6 feet, 6'1", and with the inconsistent jumper, it was an easy choice to play football.
Well, at least you got that height. I'm only 5 feet tall, so they've been telling me my growth spurt's coming since elementary school. So I've been waiting for it.
For sure.
And now at 38, I'm guessing it's not coming.
No doubt.
And then, of course, 97, you spent time with the Steelers on the practice squad, I believe, right?
Yeah. So what happened was you have these a lot of people telling you you're going to get drafted at a certain period, and unfortunately I didn't get drafted. So I originally started with Cincinnati, and then all of my rookie year I went from Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, then Tampa. And then that was just in 1997. And in 1998, I stayed in Tampa for the majority of the season. And they were all practice squad. I never got a chance to get on the field and play. So there was a number of different teams. But, Pittsburgh seems to be the one that sticks out because that's obviously the team that I grew up cheering for. But I'd actually played for 4 different teams my rookie year.
Yeah, when I was trying to find homework on you before your CFL career, it really only showed the Pittsburgh stat.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. And Mike, the regular co-host with me, he's a Bengals fan for some reason. So,
Ugh, that's tough.
yeah,
That's
and
a
of
tough
course,
one.
and I'm a Seahawks fan. So that's of course where I saw you in the Delta Club that time. But and I'm a Lions season ticket holder, of course, and
Sure.
all those good things that come with the local market. Okay, did you know much about the CFL before you came north? Like we've talked when we've asked people like the Duron Carters and the fucking Dante, of course, they had no idea about it, and then they came here and they're like, it's not much of a change, but I mean the bigger ball, ball size and the field size and goalposts.
Yeah, so I've known a little bit about the CFL, just because being at the University of Maryland is when they had the team in Baltimore, the Baltimore Stallions.
All right.
And one of the guys that played at Maryland actually played on the team. I think he was on the team that won the Grey Cup in 90. I want to say 95 or 96.
Yeah, I thought it was 96.
Yeah, so I'd known a little bit about it. I'd seen a few games. Obviously, everybody knew of Doug Flutie. That played up here, and then Warren Moon played up here. So I'd known a little bit. I didn't know a ton. I knew the Torontos and Calgarys and Baltimores, but I didn't know of the Winnipegs and Saskatchewans. I didn't know of those teams. So when I came up here and gone to Winnipeg, I always tell the story. Like I left sunny Tampa, Florida to go to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I had no idea where I was going. So it was pretty cool to go to a city that really loved football as much as they did in Winnipeg.
And pretty much a big culture shock, I think, going from the nice weather in Florida all the way to Winnipeg and mosquitoes the size of hummingbirds.
Yeah, Winnipeg was tough because I'd left and like I said, I was in Florida and it was 90, 100 degrees, and then I get to Winnipeg in June and we're wearing sweatshirts because it's like 10 degrees and like you said, mosquitoes are huge. I never experienced anything like that, so it was definitely a culture shock for me. But the one saving grace is that I was playing football, and once I got on the field, football was football.
And then you spent 2 seasons in Winnipeg before choosing to come to BC. Where obviously your career took off. In my opinion, it was here, but you did well in Winnipeg. But it was your career took off really with the Lions, spending so many years here. Can you just talk about what made you choose to come to BC, other than maybe the weather? It sounds like.
Well, what happened was when I left Winnipeg, I actually signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I spent training camp in Kansas City in 2001. And then after getting released, I was actually going to retire from football. But I was having a son up here in Vancouver, or actually they were in Kelowna. My girlfriend at the time, who had met in Winnipeg, she moved to Kelowna, and she was pregnant with my son. So when I got cut from Kansas City, instead of me going back home to Pennsylvania or going back to University of Maryland to finish my degree, I decided to come to Kelowna for the birth of my son. And I originally was supposed to go to Hamilton. I was supposed to sign with the Ticats because I wanted to play with Danny McManus and Darren Flutie. But unfortunately, September 11th happened, and I couldn't fly. So the only way that I can get to a team, because I talked to BC, I talked to Winnipeg again. Winnipeg didn't want to re-sign me because they had been they were on a 10 or 12 game winning streak, so they didn't want to mess up the flow of their team. And BC wasn't really offering me any real money. So I was going to go to Hamilton. September 11th happened. I couldn't go to Hamilton. So I said, screw it. I needed money. I needed to make some money for the family. So I ended up coming to BC and signing on the practice squad for not a lot of money. But yeah. The beautiful thing is I was only on practice squad for a day. And they signed me to the active roster basically a day after me getting here and giving me the chance to play as a fifth receiver and as a returner.
If you could sit down for dinner with anyone famous, who would you choose?
Again, it would probably be probably the same type of people, Barack
Yeah.
Obama. Just just to hear his story and how he became the president. Some of the struggles he went through as a youngster. I know a lot of the stories, but nothing like sitting down and hearing it from him. Tiger Woods would be someone that'd be interesting. Michael Jordan is a guy that I always admired and tried to play basketball like, even though I was 6 inches shorter. Um, there's a number of different people that I'd like to sit down with. Um, if he were still alive, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. Um, there's a number of different people that I'd definitely be interested.
I always go with Tupac or Seth Rogen.
So Tupac, another one. If he was alive,
Yeah.
It's funny because when I was at the University of Maryland is when Puffy was just starting his career. So Puffy was at the University of Howard, and I was at the University of Maryland, which are like 10 miles apart. So we would do joint parties, and Tupac and Biggie would perform at our student union parties. When I was at the University of Maryland, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's a pretty good story to have in the
Yeah.
in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many great seasons with the Lions, as we discussed, and then you won the Grey Cup in 2006 and 2011. Is there one that stands out more? Can we talk a little bit about each one of those?
Well, the 2006 season was a great season because that was a season that we had the most success that I'd ever accomplished in as an athlete. And not only did we win the Grey Cup, but we won all the awards as individuals. I won the most outstanding player, the MVP. We won. Brent Johnson won defensive player. He won defensive. He won top Canadian. Rob Murphy won most outstanding lineman. Aaron Hunt won the Rookie of the Year, and Mark Washington won the Tom Pate Award. So we basically swept the awards as a team with the BC Lions, and then to go in and win the Grey Cup in Winnipeg, the place that I started, a place that when I wanted to go back there, they didn't want me. So to go in and win a Grey Cup there was something that was really, really special.
And then the 2011, after starting the season,
yeah, we were. So we started the season 0-6, and then we got to it was like 1-7, and then we won basically 10 games straight to win the West. Which again, it was a little bit of a weird season because we started the season at Empire. We were waiting for the BC place to be finished with the renovations.
Yeah,
and. To start 0-6 or 1-7, and everybody calling for our heads. They wanted me to get cut. They wanted Wally fired. They wanted all the older guys to be done. And the good thing about that team is we felt we had great leadership from the top with Wally, but we also had great leadership within the locker room. And the one thing that kept us going was Wally. Kept telling us that we're a good team, and that he was sticking with us no matter what. He was gonna go down with the ship, which a lot of coaches don't do. A lot of coaches would start cutting people. A lot of coaches would start blaming players. He basically told us that we weren't playing good enough. The coaches weren't coaching good enough, but we still had a good team, and he believed in us. And that was something that we took to heart and knew that he believed in us, and he was gonna stick with us. So it was up to us to turn around, and we did that.
And I've obviously met Wally a few times over the years, and great guy. What's one thing that Wally taught you that still sticks out?
The one thing Wally taught me, I mean, he's taught me a ton of different life lessons. But the one thing is he's just go do your job. And no matter what that job is, if you go do your job and you do it to the best of your ability, you'll have an opportunity with the BC Lions, and that's something that I've always I always carry with me. That if you give someone a job and they do the job that you ask them to do, and they give 1,000% effort and tough about it, that's all you can ask for. And Wally always said is as long as you're giving me what I'm asking for, and we're not paying you to play football. You're paid to win football games. So that's something that he gave me, and I still use to this day.
And then basically all your career, you've won tons of awards. Is there one that's your favorite?
The Great Cups.
That's good.
Those are the things that really stand out. All the individual awards they're great, but to be able to say that you're a champion, your name is on a trophy 3 times, for doing something that a lot of people haven't done. Even the guys, there's a lot of guys that are very successful in this league individually, but they don't have championships. And I can say that I won the championship 3 times in this league. I think that that's the most important thing to me, winning a championship as a player, because I've always been successful individually everywhere I've been, but I've never won a championship. So those 3 Grey Cup champions are something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life.
And you're recognized as the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like being recognized like that by your peers?
Well, I mean, that's something that I always strive to be. I always wanted to be. I always wanted to leave my mark. I always wanted to have people say when I left that I made the place better than when I got there. So I think that not only did I win championships, I left my mark, and I did things that no one else has ever done. With the receptions record and the yards record and being top 3 in touchdowns. So, and winning on top of it, because, a lot of times, you'll see a lot of guys who get stats, but, especially receiving stats where they're getting, big receiving stats because their teams are losing. I got my stats when the games were on the line and we were still in it, and when I had success, we won more times than we lost. So that's something I'm really proud about.
And yeah, I didn't know how much time we were going to have, so I didn't really break down every single award. We'd be here all day. Yeah, we'd be here all day trying to break down all your awards. You got too many.
Yeah,
you can never have too many.
For sure.
And then, so 2013 traded to Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on being traded and obviously going on to win your 3rd Grey Cup?
Well, it was a little bittersweet going to Saskatchewan, because I built a legacy here in BC, and I wanted to finish my career here. And unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way in sports all the time. If you want to continue your career and continue playing, sometimes you got to go to another market. But the good thing is I handpicked Saskatchewan. I knew that was the only place that I wanted to go. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wanted to go somewhere where football was king, and the fans were 1,000% in with football. And then to go there and to have the opportunity to win a championship was something that was really special. I saw the team that they were building. I played against the team the year before, and even though the record wasn't as good as I thought it would be, I felt that they had the type of players that can go on and win a championship. So in getting traded, I knew the team that was going to be built around us. Just in talking with the general manager at the time, Brendan Taman, who's still a great friend of mine. It was a great experience. I didn't have the season individually that I thought I was going to have, but in the end result was what I went there for. So it's pretty fitting that I didn't have the best of seasons individually, but one, we sent BC home. in the semifinals, and then we beat the number 1 seed in Calgary, and then we ultimately won the Grey Cup at home, which was something that not too many people can say that they won 2 Grey Cups at home. It was something that I'm definitely proud about, and I'm almost more outspoken about that one than any of them.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome to win it at home. Like you said, you've done it twice, so that's pretty crazy to do. Do you have any hidden talents?
I'd like to think I'm like a secret chef. That's probably one of the only talents I have right now, that I can think of. I can't sing, I can't play an instrument, so I like to cook. I barbecue quite a bit, and I cook at home often as well. So I think cooking is probably one of my hidden talents.
Okay. I believe we have another friend in common that tells me you have some good. You guys have some good parties together. Yeah. I work with them, so
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably cut that part out just so I don't say my company on my real life job on the air here.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. What are you doing these days? And you're still with the Lions organization, correct?
Yeah. So I'm still with the Lions. Still in the scouting and personnel side. Working with trying to find the next global players, as well as guys in the NCAA. In the end, you have titles, but as a scout and personnel guy in the CFL, you kind of do everything. We do the CFL draft. I do the global draft. I do NCAA scouting, as well as scouting on the pro side, the NFL and CFL. So I kind of dabble in everything. I think I'm pretty entrenched in the BC Lions organization scouting department, and also I've coached a little bit. I haven't coached in a couple of years, but I've also helped in that side. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that with the organization. But it's been great.
Yeah, just try to keep your hands in as many cookie jars as possible.
For sure.
Yeah, don't ever really close any doors. You can keep something might open up there. As you were saying about the NCAA prospects, there's a lot of them coming out of that school, IMG.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been interviewing like 4 or 5 of those guys a week, just flying through all the IMG guys, and there's some good kids that are going to NCAA that are going to be. And I keep bringing up the fact to, like, just because you don't make the NFL doesn't mean your football career is over. You come play in Vancouver if you want. I'm kind of doing recruiting on my own here.
For sure. Yeah, IMGs are great. They have a great a great system down there where it's basically a boarding school, and those guys and girls go play their whatever sport they're going to play, and get their education. And the recruiting process through there is through the roof. So it's definitely a great program, and they do a great job.
And then 2017, the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. What was it like being inducted into there, and your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's been great. Having the opportunity to be recognized as one of the best players to ever lace them up in this country is something that's special to me. And BC, I guess not the BC Sports, but the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, inducted me as a first ballot, which is something that's really special to me. I wear that jacket and wear that ring with pride, knowing that I gave 1,000% effort and it worked out in a positive way for me. So to be inducted was something that was really special to me.
Are you in the BC Sports Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Okay.
BC Sports Hall of Fame, BC Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It just got announced a couple of days ago that our 2013 team is going into the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. So that'll make five Hall of Fames for me up to this point, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's up there with. That's got to be more than Damon Allen. I think when we had him on, I don't think he had that many.
No, I don't. I'm not sure. Yeah, five is pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Could you tell us a good story about the late Cato?
Oh man, Cato was the Cato was the guy that ran the BC Lions. I
Yeah.
mean, you talk about Wally, you talk about Bob Ackles, you talk about Mr. Braley. You can talk about a number of different people, but when it came down to it, Cato was a guy that had been there almost probably longer than anybody that stepped into the organization at that point, and he was a guy that if you needed something, you could always go to Cato. And I was he was a very good friend of mine. I respected the heck out of him, and loved the guy to death. And he ran that organization for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely in the trenches doing it. I mean, for all the years that Dante would bring me over to the practice facility there, and Cato would always be like, "Hey, you want something? Go pick something." I'm climbing the back shelves in the storage room there. Found this awesome. Actually, I got like right down over there. I probably can't see it anyways, but I got the whole like 2013 team signed on a helmet Cato gave me, and everybody signed it. It's pretty good. I collect a lot of memorabilia with mostly Canucks and BC Lions stuff, and all the stuff goes on my wall. Do you have a favorite piece of memorabilia that you've collected over all these years, besides maybe your rings?
Yeah, I think the most important one is the BC Lions 2011 ring. That's the one I wear more than often. It's something that it's a as far as memorabilia is concerned, I don't keep a lot of things. I have a couple jerseys, I have a couple footballs, but those Grey Cup rings are something that's something that one of my most cherished possessions.
Did you used to have any pregame rituals or meals?
I try to keep it pretty clean as far as pregame meal. I try to eat a couple chicken breasts, grilled rice and vegetables. I kept it really simple. Drink a lot of water. I always got to the stadium 4 hours early to make sure I get my mental game on and then make sure I'm warmed up. Physically before, because sometimes the team comes and warms up, you're not totally warm. So I would do a workout in the morning of games. Like if we had a 7:00 game, I'd be in the gym at 10, doing a little bit of a warm up. Then I'd get to the stadium 4 hours early, but nothing, I didn't have any real superstitions or anything like that. I just made sure my body was ready to go. I was physically and mentally ready to go. And from the opening kickoff, I was 100% warmed up and ready to play at a high level.
And do you have a favorite road stadium or city?
Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan was my favorite place to play. Their fans were so crazy and they loved their team so much. It made it hard to play in there, but I'd always been a person that thrived on that hate that you got from the team. So it was Saskatchewan was definitely the place that I love playing.
A lot of watermelon heads out there, that's for sure.
For sure, throwing batteries and frozen painting.
Throwing batteries.
For sure.
Yeah, geez, that's crazy. I didn't know the battery story. Right here. Okay. We know this fact because we interviewed a lot of Oregon Ducks as well, but they do a little ritual with their rookies that they got to sing a karaoke song. If you had to sing one karaoke song, what song are you singing?
Ooh, probably something from the Temptations.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can't sing it anyways. So
maybe a Temptations or a Tupac song.
Okay, California Love there.
Ambitions as a Rider, probably.
Oh, that's your go-to Tupac song?
One of them, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, mine's California Love, and then Keep Your Head Up.
Yeah.
You gotta love the old All Eyes on Me. Pretty much anything off All Eyes on Me.
For sure.
best CD of all time, I think.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Yeah.
Where did the Superman pose come from?
It came from my son. He was into superheroes and Power Rangers and things like that. And I just wanted to do something for him when we were on the road. If he, sees me score a touchdown, I do something, and he knows that it was for him. So I did it one game, and then end up, scoring a couple more touchdowns a week later. So I just kind of kept doing it, and instead of it being a Power Rangers, that people, they named it the Superman pose. So I just took it and ran with it.
Okay, yeah, that definitely went on your whole career. Can you, how big a shit talker in the locker room is Dante Marsh?
Oh, he was pretty quiet. Dante was loud, but for the most part, he was pretty quiet, pretty laid back dude. That West Coast California.
Yeah, Fresno.
We had enough other guys that did a lot of talking, so Dante didn't do too much.
Okay, I was gonna text them and send them a little ball bust on them for it. Do you have a favorite sports quote?
Put me on the spot here. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work.
Okay, that's good. We hear that a few times, and we always refer back to Dante's. It's like, how can they beat you if they can't outwork you?
Yeah. That's always a good one as well. And we had one when I was in high school where tough times never last, but tough people do.
Hey, that's a good one. Never heard that one.
Yeah.
How important is an athlete's public image with all this social media and stuff?
I mean, I think it's important, but it's not essential. Some guys are quiet. Some guys crave that attention. I'm a type of guy that's kind of in the middle. I could be outspoken on things, but I can also just be quiet and don't have to say. I don't have to comment on every situation, and nor do I want to. So I think it's up to the individual person.
A lot of people use that platform nowadays to brand their image and or brand themselves.
Yeah, a lot of people think they have a brand, but
No, exactly. That's true as well. I got 3 more for you here. What do you do if you saw a teammate struggling to learn a play?
Well, personally, I tried to be the teammate that took all the thinking away from all my other teammates, because our offense was very, very complex and it was very hard to learn. So I would basically tell all the guys what to do, like all the receivers on my side. The play would be called. I would just tell them what to do so they take the thinking out of it so they can just play. Because the thing is, in football, everything happens so fast that if you're thinking, that makes you hesitate, and that can screw up a play. So I just told guys what to do, basically.
How good of a singer is Ryan Phillips? Because I hear he's like a real good singer. Have you heard him sing?
He's a good singer. He's a closet singer. You hear a little bit here and there, but you don't get the full blast of it. So from the little that I heard, I think he's a very good singer.
Okay, because back in the day, we tried to take him to the studio. I took Dante and Arsenal to some recording studio here in Port Moody, and then we got him recording, and they did a rap song for one of my old albums when I used to produce music. So I always tried to get Phillips on there, and he never would come to the studio. So I always wondered how good he really was.
Yeah.
Okay. What does your daily routine look like?
A lot of driving. I'm basically an Uber driver for the kids.
Yeah.
Get up, have coffee, drive the kids to school, pick them up, try to do some work in between, and then work out or play golf. Life is pretty simple right now, especially with the pandemic. We'll just try to stay out of the way and get the kids where they need to get to, and then try to break a sweat in between and do a little work in between there.
Am I going to be lucky enough to be in the stands this season, do we think?
I think so. I think the way things are going, some of the announcements that are being made, it sounds like Montreal is going to have fans, and if they make it to the next round of the playoffs, and I think we got to get to a point where we just say, you know what, we're tired of living in our bubbles, and not to be reckless, but I think it's time to start opening up, lifting some of these restrictions. And people are getting vaccinated, so I think we're on the right path to be able to play and have fans in the stands this year.
And that's true. And it's just like we've all been shook up by the pandemic, and we've all learned. Like now, I don't think we'll ever go back to standing so close to people like we used to. Everybody's going to stay back. You're always going to wash your hands now. People have learned from this pandemic, and that's kind of hopefully in the future as well. Sure. Last one I got for you. What do you want your legacy to be remembered as?
As the greatest receiver to ever play in the CFL. Someone who was caring for not only his family but his friends and teammates, and someone who made an impact, a positive impact. That's something that's important to me. I want to leave a positive impact on the game, and I think I've done that in my playing career. Now I'm trying to do that in my second career in sports.
Well, one more. Do you have a favorite sports movie?
Ooh, not really. Well, All the Right Moves.
Okay.
It was filmed in my hometown, so that move, All the Right Moves and Slapshot are two movies that were filmed in my hometown.
Yeah, of course, Slapshot. Yeah.
I played basketball in the arena for Slapshot, and I played football in the stadium for All the Right Moves.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for taking your time for me today. I'm a big fan of yours. I've always been a big fan of yours. You know that. I'm always chasing you around trying to get a picture or an autograph. And we look forward to seeing you at the stadium this year.
For sure, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Looking for the most beers on tap? Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.